Good evening. Today I will be doing my informal speech on the most famous athletes in the world by me, Harper Speech. For the purposes of this speech, I do have an audience member in the crowd. It's my former roommate, Brandon. Brandon, let everyone know that you're here.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
All right. In today's sports world, you have so many athletes who are well known. Brandon, who are some athletes that come to mind when you think about the most famous ones in today's sports world?
James Harden, Kyrie Irving.
All right. Not too bad for some answers. Well, now I'm going to give you the info on the top 3 most famous athletes in the world today. You have guys like LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Tom Brady. These 3 guys are the biggest names in sports today. And in my speech, I'll be letting you know why they're the most famous and how they got there and what it took for them to get there. Brendan, do you know who this is right here?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
So, this is Cristiano Ronaldo, for anyone who doesn't know. Cristiano Ronaldo is a Portuguese national-born soccer player who currently plays for the Portugal national team, and his club ball team is Juventus, located in Italy. Ronaldo's been on the scene since he was 16 years old, and ever since he stepped onto the pitch, he's been nothing but a world-renowned soccer player. Did you know that soccer's played in 200 countries? So it would make sense that somebody like Ronaldo would be known world famous all over the world, right? Matter of fact, to make it even more popular, Ronaldo has 315 million followers on Instagram. That's the most for any athlete, regardless of the sport that they play. And because of that huge following that Ronaldo has, is the reason that he's the face of the Nike brand company. Not LeBron James, not Kyrie Irving, no, and not even Michael Jordan. It's Ronaldo. Matter of fact, back in 2018, Ronaldo even spent up a revenue for Nike up to $474 million. That's the most brought in by any Nike athlete since Nike came about. And because of this, Ronaldo now has a lifetime contract with Nike worth $1 billion. So whenever he's done playing, even though he's done playing, this man will still be getting paid all the way throughout his life, which will equal out to $1 billion. Does anyone know who this man is?
Hey, I know who that is. That's LeBron.
That's correct, Brandon. This is LeBron James. LeBron James is an NBA basketball player who was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers back in 2003. Some referred to him as the chosen one. Why was he referred to as the chosen one? Well, when LeBron was 18, he came straight out of high school. Young kid, didn't know much, but one thing he did know was how to play basketball. We knew when that man had the basketball in his hands, it was over. As soon as he stepped into an NBA court, we knew then that he was going to be a problem in the league. LeBron James came into the league knowing that he had a chip on his shoulder, that people are going to be all over him on his back. Well, what makes LeBron one of the famous people in the world? Well, let's start with the fact that he has 4 NBA championships, 4 finals MVPs, and 4 regular season MVPs. Not to mention, he's the 3rd leading scorer in the NBA over all time. And to add a cherry on top, LeBron has the most playoff appearances out of any player in NBA history. But if you were to ask LeBron what his biggest goal was or his biggest accomplishment was off the court, it was when he opened his 2018 I Promise school located in Akron, Ohio. LeBron and his foundation opened that school up for the purposes of helping inner city kids who were at risk and needed some guidance to get the proper education that they needed. And now we're 4 years later, and LeBron's school is thriving and is doing well, and he's even put his students into college. Just like Ronaldo, LeBron also is a big name face in Nike. He also has a lifetime contract worth $1 billion. So like I said, when it's all said and done, that man's still going to be getting paid. LeBron's one of the biggest names in sports when it comes to activism, speaking out for social injustices, specifically for the Black Lives Community Matter. And no one does it bigger than him. These are some of the reasons why LeBron is one of the most famous people in the world. Anyone know who this guy is? Brandon?
Take a guess. Is that Tom Brady?
You're correct. That's Tom Brady. So for anyone who doesn't know who Tom Brady is, let me give you a quick glimpse. Tom Brady is an American football player who's the most famous player in American sports history. Why is he the most famous player in American sports history? Well, I'll tell you. Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowl rings. But it all started back in 1999 when he was drafted 199 overall. No one knew who this man was back then. No one expected him to be where he is today. But because of the hard work that Brady put in, the relentless effort, and the nonstop competitive nature is gotten him to where he's at. Tom Brady spent the first 20 years of his career with the New England Patriots, where he led them to 6 Super Bowl championships, which is tied for the most in NFL history by a single franchise. But one thing Brady does have is the most championships by a single player in NFL history. A few other records that Brady holds: has the most wins in NFL history, has the most touchdown passes in NFL history, and has the most passing attempts in NFL history. In his 21st season, after Tom Brady left the New England Patriots, he went to go reconnect with his old friend Bruce Arians in Tampa Bay, where he led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to become Super Bowl champions, where Brady won his 7th Super Bowl ring and won his 5th Super Bowl MVP title. Some people refer to Brady as the GOAT. Now, I have a quick video that I want you to watch that Tom Brady talks about, where it doesn't matter when you get the opportunity, but it's all about what you do with it. Let's take a look.
And he was trying to straighten out his face mask. And the coach said, all right, you're out.
Tell Red, we're going to get him out.
Tom Brady has been put in a quarterback and Drew Bledsoe taken out.
That's a good lesson that I tell all these young players. I'm listen here, I'm going to be a first round pick. I was 199, but listen, if you get a chance to be on the field, don't mess it up.
Yeah, earn it.
Because you may never get a second one.
So as you can see from that video, it doesn't matter where you start, but it's where you finish and what you do with the moment that you get when you get it. So in conclusion, I chose these 3 athletes because when you look at the breakdown of everything that they've accomplished on the field and off, these guys are the most well-known athletes in the world. And no matter what, wherever you go, you say their name, people will know who they are. Thank you for listening in. I hope you enjoyed my speech.